Was that your, I don't know, what's one of the trivial but important solitary facts? Was that, did you intend to kill anyone when you left your house? No. No further questions.
It opens up a lot, though. I don't know. I don't know if I want to
Tell me, all right, let me hear you. Let me hear your cross. Let me hear your cross. Let me hear your cross.
On the spot? Well, now you're talking about, did you intend, and why did you bring a gun? Why did you bring a gun? Why'd you go there? You start getting into that, why did you do a lot of different things? And then, I could.
Listen,
on the spot.
I'm shooting from the hip. I'm just trying to imagine if they narrowed it sufficiently, could there be a rationale? I hear what you're saying. Believe me, I'm trying to figure out why you would do that.
I'll follow up on what Robert said yesterday. Robert, yesterday on Viva Barnes Sunday night or
law.locals.com.
That's an underhanded grift.
That's branding. That is branding right there, baby.
I thought that you made a great point, which is that all of us here lean from center toward right, and those who are sitting from center toward right are looking at, was this justifiable self-defense? But those people who are sitting center toward left or far left, they're all been listening and absorbing and believing everything mainstream media has been telling them. And in their mind, it's that this is a kid who does not live in Kenosha, who came to Kenosha, in their minds brought a gun, but whatever, and to roam the streets and basically intimidate and agitate a BLM rally, which is why I think the only reason you would put Kyle on the stand, if you put him on the stand to say anything at all, is exclusively to talk about his close relationship with Kenosha historically, how he's a lifeguard there, how he's worked there, how his dad comes there, and basically tie in that he's not some random person like Gage, Antifa, roaming across the country trying to find BLM rallies so that he could express his ideology with a gun, but that he's a kid who basically is like, this is my hometown. He's sweeping up and cleaning up graffiti. And even though he doesn't technically reside there or even in the state, he resides 15 minutes away, and that this is where his heart and his roots have lied. And that's why he was in that town that night. And I think that's the only thing. And that way you're not appealing to us. It's not about self-defense, but it's about to the mindset of the left or any people who have favorable attitudes of Antifa, that they think to themselves, okay, you know what? He's not just a kid trying to agitate and start a whole problem here. He's a kid who is there because he believes in this town. So, I mean, isn't that justifiable?
I think you do that in a press conference after he's acquitted. I don't think you need to put him on the stand for that. And I think his lawyers or his PR team has a way to say to the media, to all of those that are upset that you thought this trial was going the other way, it's because you were told wrong facts at the beginning. And that's why you're confused now. And I think it gives them.
Prior to August 25th of 2020, did you know who Kyle Rittenhouse was?
No.
Had you ever had, to your knowledge, any contact with him whatsoever?
No, none.
And so this group that you had talked about, that you had stood out and kind of waved flags, were there other people, relative or as it relates to this case, that were part of that group?
Yes. There was Dustin and Danton.
Okay.
So me and Danton more or less started it with another guy in the area, and then just more people came up to see what was going on and just talking to him and what we were standing there for. We met Dustin that way.
Does the name Ryan Balch mean anything to you?
Yeah, he had walked up one day when we were standing, I think 3 weeks or end of July, beginning of August, walked up in his military uniform and started talking to the guys. I didn't really have communication with him at that time, but he was talking to the guys and made friends with them.
So if I could then kind of direct your attention to 24th, 25th of August, Danton, Mertz. Where do you
say far right, man?
Was
Adaban Venkateswar on Super.
And that's Ryan.
I didn't.
Conspiracy, not some kind of. Anya.
That's because I was here. That's because I was here. YouTube demonetizes anytime my face shows up.
I heard it's because he doesn't like.
You're the, if I'm right, you're the person person third from the left?
Yes.
Is that right? You have the
Oh,
white hat on? Or
Grandma's
on?
in the picture even.
Whoa.
Man,
Is the person
I was wondering what they
Badass
brought her
grandma.
up for.
left in that picture,
frontline mama.
would say was crying? And,
America's grandma.
Yes, that's the man that Nick introduced as the owner.
and after you were introduced to the owner, what happened after that? Did he stay? Did he leave? If you know.
He just disappeared. I didn't see where he went. He just disappeared. We parked our cars and just met back there then.
Now, is this the location that you met Kyle Rittenhouse at?
Yes,
And I think you had said you had met him before, but was he there when you got there?
no.
So he showed up after you were already there.
Yeah, I believe we actually took 2 pictures before Kyle showed up.
And if you recall, of those people, who did he show up with, if you remember?
Dominic, which I think is on the right of Kyle.
The guy that's on the far right?
Yep.
Your far right?
Yes.
And
Don't say far right, man.
was there,
Far right.
Did you say he's on your alt right?
so after you take this picture, is there kind of a plan in place on what you all are going to do?
Just from what I remember, Nick wanted to split us up. He mentioned there was 3 businesses and he wanted to split us all up and one group go here, one group go there.
Did the person on the far left, the owner of the car stores, did he ever tell you to leave? Did he ever say that to you?
No, not at all.
Did he ever tell you that you were trespassing and he didn't want you there?
No, not at all.
She laughed.
So you leave, and where do you go?
She's welcome everywhere in
We walked up
Kenosha.
to the 59th in Sheridan business. It was kind of kitty corner where he had all the cars burnt down the night before.
Okay, and who, if you recall, went with you?
That was Nick and me and Dustin and Danton and Ryan. I think there was another kid in there which I don't recognize, and then Kyle and Dominic.
Now, if you know, was there a
If you know stuff is not good. He keeps saying he's doing it too much.
that the owner said, or somebody said there were.
He's trying to avoid a foundation objection, but it's not necessary.
All 3? Were you just assigned to one? Do you know how that kind of played
Yeah,
out?
Binger's
As
asleep.
far
Just
as I
ask.
recall, it was just to protect the one on the 63rd in Sheridan, and the other one was on the,
Finger's updating his resume on this phone.
yes.
He's like,
You know,
just
just in
finger
case.
cosplay.
It's like, is monster.com
So when you get to the 59th in Sheridan, are you armed?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you armed with?
This is brilliant, putting grandma up with her gun. So it's not a bunch of marauding young.
Oh,
Is that pistol
Teens.
somewhere on your person?
It's a regular Americans.
I don't know if it was yet.
Oh,
I
man,
hope
thought
she
for a
doesn't
second she
describe
was-
the pistol or
You're
the
not
chat will
disputing
lose
that you
their
have-
minds. They're
No, I'm not
already
disputing that
talking
at all.
about based granny.
And when you
here.
go to the 59th Street,
It's
a
also
parade,
good that she
which is
started by
right
saying we
for
all
grandma.
supported BLM, but that doesn't mean we support
Are
like
you
destruction and
testimony
rioting and
about
looting. So this way she
on the
doesn't seem
ground?
like she's
Where are you?
alt-right, but that
Oh, I'm
she's
on the ground.
just normal.
and can you tell us who else is on the ground with you?
Kyle, Dustin, Ryan. Yeah, the 4 of us were on the ground.
So how close
3 of the widest names in
to
America.
you is Mr. Rittenhouse at the 59th Street address?
Tell him Ty.
Maybe
Tyrone,
10
actually.
feet to my left.
So at that location, he's standing near you for at least a portion of the night.
Yes.
And when you see him at that location and he's with you, what is he doing? He being Mr. Rittenhouse.
To begin with, or
Well, you guys are just there on 59th as the night is progressing, right? Is he doing anything? Is he staying there? Is he leaving the property? What is he doing?
no, he was staying there. We were all staying there.
Okay. There's been conversations about, and I'll ask you if you look at that picture, there's that little orange box in front of him. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any time during that evening that you saw him doing anything other than simply standing there?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what you saw?
Yeah, I'm sorry. There was other people that did walk by before, like the bigger crowd of the protesters came through, and he was offering medic services. We had a girl walk up that, I don't know if she broke her ankle or twisted her ankle, that he actually helped bandage her up so she could walk out because her boyfriend had to kind of carry her.
And when he did that, when he was doing that, did he ever ask you for any assistance in terms of, as it relates to his firearm?
Yes.
And what did he ask you to do?
He just asked me to hold on to his gun, and I did.
So he would take it off, if I'm hearing you right, he would take it off, and then while he was working on.
What would you give for a picture of her with the AR?
And
Is this you?
She's comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that evening, do you remember seeing the man in the front?
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about the man with the red shirt on.
Correct.
Okay. Did you know who he was that night?
No.
He's the pedophile, right?
No.
Do you remember him from that night?
Very distinctly.
Okay.
Oh.
You tell people on the jury why you remember him.
I remembered seeing him with his red shirt, and the thing that caught me was the green earring. And this was when BLM had just come down in front of us, and there was some other gentlemen that were talking with Ryan. They were talking, things were calm. And I saw him, and it was kind of a back and forth because I had some of the female protesters that were standing.
Look at the way
in
she's
front
addressing
of
the jury.
me.
This looks
So
natural.
they wanted, they were
Yes.
doing
Comparing that to
Lives
Gross Creates
Matter,
yesterday.
right? And I just wasn't taking a side. I was just there to
Good pick up
protect the business. So I would look and survey and go to them, and I would look and survey, and I would see Rosenbaum standing there. And I saw the plastic bags in his back pocket. I didn't know what it was. And then, can I go on?
Well,
Please,
there anything
Grambo,
that he
please
had
keep
said
talking.
Grambo.
that
Nice.
Yes.
notice of or would remember.
Yeah, that's the part I was kind of getting to is, I know you guys call him Mr. Yellow Pants, and that's kind of what we called him. He
Mr.
jumped
Yellow
off the
Pants.
car,
He was pissing
and
his
everybody
pants.
started screaming, "Get off the car!" And Black Lives Matter was screaming, and he was shouting, and Rosenbaum started shouting back at us that he's gonna, pardon me, Judge, for saying this and everybody else, but he's gonna kill us, motherfuckers, motherfucking niggers, and cut our heads off.
Wow.
Hard on! Hard on!
Multiple times.
Oh.
And
Hard R.
Pardon me, Judge.
what was what
I
was
kill
your
people, dear.
group's response to that, if any, when he said that?
None. You kind of are frozen at the verbiage and the threats coming out of them. I mean, the whole night was quite shocking, but we didn't really do anything. We just kind of stood there. You have to ignore that.
Was there anything else
Wow.
that you saw
Rosenbaum
him
was a very big NLM supporter.
that you remember?
Not BLM,
Yeah,
NLM to him.
Yellow Pants was screaming. I saw that. I was going back to the ladies that were taunting me and going back and looked at him. And as I looked at him, I saw his arm go up and like something, like he lobbed something. And then within seconds, my eyes started watering, my nose started watering, I started coughing. I didn't know what a chemical bomb was. I didn't know. All of a sudden, I just heard guys screaming, chemical bomb, chemical bomb. And I just pulled my mask up.
Did you see him specifically throw something?
Yes.
Do you remember what it? Oh, let's continue this way. Do you remember what he? I'm not asking that you say he threw a bomb. I'm asking if you know what was in his hand that he threw.
Yeah, he went back and threw like that.
Do you remember what he threw? Meaning, did he throw a? What was it?
I don't recall.
Okay. That evening, did you, while he was in your purview, your sight, did you see Mr. Rittenhouse threaten anyone?
Oh, no.
Did you see him
Oh no.
point his gun at anyone?
Oh, no.
No, he's a good boy. He's a nice boy.
Was there
Don't say
anyone
that.
there that
Don't say that, Grandma.
had?
Could have scripted that.
I guess
better.
I'll strike that.